searching for a shelter for my soul, an understanding of the greater plan. In these walls I've seen the light of love pure and divine, helps me remember who I really am. In every face it's clear, we're all God's children here, and it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It's a place to share your burden. It's safe to shed a tear, say a prayer and raise your voice in song, where every heart is honored and every path is true. No one's here to judge you right or wrong, and there's no shame, no sin, in this place where love begins. And it feels like home, it feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home, it feels like home, a family that I can call my own. It feels like home.
Let us take a moment together to reflect, to listen, to pray, and to breathe. Let my words speak for you if that's cool with you. There are some times when my mind can spin in circles, processing the same information over and over and over, looking for solutions, hoping for order, seeking peace. I might find myself thinking for days about a challenge, playing the same scenarios over in my mind, unable to resolve or fix the situation. In these moments, I can remember that stillness and peace will come with letting go. At times, it's best that I step back and look at the big picture. I can distance myself by taking a walk, maybe a yoga class or sitting in nature. If I'm unable to retreat physically, I might just take a few deep breaths and engage in silent prayer or meditation. By willingly stepping back from any problem, I create much needed space for spirit to express fully in me. In this space, I'm inspired by divine ideas that reveal to me an amazing vision for my life's perfect unfolding. So I let go, and I let it be. And so it is.
It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home. A family that I can call my own. It feels like home. It feels like home. I finally found a place where I belong. It feels like home. It feels like home.
courage is the price that life exacts for granting peace. The soul that knows it not knows no release from little things, knows not the livid loneliness of fear, nor mountain heights where bitter joy can hear the sound of wings. How can life grant a spoon of living, compensate for dull gray ugliness and pregnant hate, unless we dare the soul's dominion? Each time we make a choice, we pay with courage to behold the resistless day and count it fair.
I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender. I am a child of the living God, made in the image of perfect love. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, I surrender. I surrender.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. It's quite serendipitous that it happens to be my birthday today. I'm 48 today, and I have a big announcement to share with you, which is that I have finally figured out what I want to be when I grow up. So, as many of you know, I have been the Director of Youth and Family Ministries here for about 3 years, and it has been an incredible experience for me. It's been some of the best years of my life. I have grown and learned a lot while I've been here. And some of you also know that I've also begun working with children with special needs in the world out there. And I have realized that my higher calling is to actually serve the world in working with children with special needs. So I have accepted a full-time job in Seattle that I'll be beginning in September, working full-time with children with autism. And I'm very excited about that. And I'm also at the beginning stages of looking into going back to graduate school to get my master's in special ed. And as much as I wish I could do everything, it's just not realistic. So I will be stepping down from my position here, and Stacy will be stepping up as our new Director of Youth and Family Ministries. So Stacy's been the assistant director for about a year now, and she is amazing, and I cannot tell you how much she has added to the program and enabled us to grow. So September 9th will be my official last day, and then Stacy will be taking over after that.
And so September 9th is also a Youth and Family Ministry hospitality, so that would be a great time to bring a token of gratitude or a card for one who has changed us for the better so profoundly. Will you thank Michelle Focus, please?
And then on September 23rd, there will be a reception to welcome Stacy into her new role and a chance for people to get to know her better. So we'll have more information coming about that as well. Thank you.
Thank you for being our family. Thank you for being our friend. Thank you for blessing and teaching us. God bless you. Amen. All that I am, all I've been given, to you, my God, Lord, I surrender.
How blessed are we to have someone so amazing as Michelle, and then someone ready and able to just step right into that role in those shoes. So our youth are well served here. So hi. Good morning. Welcome to Unity in Linwood. It is our hope that today here you find some peace in this space, that you feel safe, and that you feel welcomed. This is a community who celebrates our interfaith mission, and we want everyone to know that whatever background you have in religion, spirituality, or none at all, you're welcome here. We respect and honor and actually invite your ideas and your thoughts. That your thoughts and ideas are honored, and the most important thing that we ask for here is your presence. So our gifts of love and respect are yours, and we hope that you find value and honor here with us in this service, and I'm glad to be here with you. Today happens to be the third Sunday of the month, and today we honor this day as our Giving Circle Sunday. Our Giving Circle is a way to standardize your gift, your financial gift to this church every month. So whether you give by cash or check, credit card, or EFT, doesn't matter. You can standardize your giving by joining our Giver Circle program. It's a safe, easy, convenient, and flexible way for you to give, and it also gives really helpful data to your board of trustees. So if you find consistent value in our services, please consider responding with consistent giving. There is a form for that as you leave. The information rack on the left side, so you can fill that out if you want. And if you are in the Giving Circle, and some of us just kind of do a nice little blessing over the offering basket if it comes by. But if you've already given, you can get a card out in the foyer or a little stone that looks like this that you can place in the offering basket just to drop something in there. So please take advantage of that if that's something you are compelled to do. And in all religious traditions and spiritual practices, prayer is a cornerstone. In Unity, we use the term affirmative prayer. Dr. Emily Cady said, "We do not have to beseech God any more than we have to beseech the sun to shine. It cannot help it. No more can God help pouring us into unlimited wisdom, life, and power. All good, because to give is the law of God's being." Isn't that wonderful? I know sometimes we have to beseech the sun around here to break through the clouds, but it's still there. That's faith. That's a little different than prayer, but they come hand in hand, knowing, believing that the sun is up there. So instead of asking God for something, we connect with the Spirit of God within us and affirm positive beliefs about a desired outcome. Affirmative prayer gives us the certainty that we are being held to our highest good despite the way things look, right? Sometimes things don't look like they're going great. But that's what prayer and faith give us, is knowing that things are working behind the scenes. Through affirmative prayer, we co-create the good that is possible in our lives. So when we pray together, we support each other by shining light and love on our lives in order to enhance our connection to Spirit. And in this, we offer many ways of prayer support here at Unity in Linwood. You can request prayer support through our website. There is a phone hotline listed on the program, which are out in the foyer, that you can get, or you can use a prayer slip that's in the seat in front of you and fill that out and drop it in the offering basket. We also have amazing prayer chaplains here that if you feel like you need to pray one-on-one with someone at the end of service, you can do that. So our prayer chaplains are ready and willing to help you. If you come up to either side of the sanctuary at the end of service, they will welcome you. And so that we can know who you are, would our prayer chaplains mind standing so we can see you and acknowledge you? Thank you. We appreciate your service in so many ways. Thank you. Also, as part of our spiritual practice, we use affirmations to hold good in our lives. Charles Fillmore said, "Affirmations are positive statements of truth. By affirming truth, we are lifted out of false thinking into the consciousness of spirit. Each time we pray positively and faithfully, we are calling forth the divine activity that is always here, always within us. So each Sunday, we choose an affirmation to say as a spiritual family. Yeah, today's is good. I'm going to say it once. It's short, sweet, and powerful. And then you can stand if you would like, and we'll all say it together. I live flat out, wide open, all in, and out loud. So, would you like to join me? Yes. Yay! So let's say it together. I live flat out, wide open, all in, and out loud. Excellent. Take a moment and, get all in with the people around you and say hi.
Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Good morning, Unity in Linwood. So, Richard wrote this affirmation a couple months ago, and when I saw it, I was inspired. I said, well, let's write a song. So we did. So here's the full song. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. You can sing along. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Gonna live my life unapologetically. Gonna take advantage of all I ought to be. Gonna show the world my potentiality. Gonna do it now, not eventually. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Gonna live my life with grand audacity. Gonna take advantage of what's inside of me. Gonna show the world my possibility. Gonna do it now, not eventually. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. There's a party going on. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One bow, unbroken. One life, right now. Let's do it again. Flat out, wide open, all in and out loud. One
I'm Atmanambi from India, Tamil Nadu, down south of India. I'm working for the past 20 years to humanity, to uplift the energy, the inner awareness of the human beings out of my experience. Nowadays I've been traveling and visiting few countries and meeting friends like you to share this beautiful spirituality, which is basically love-based. So I'm here to give the insights about what is love, the real love. I mean the unconditional love. There are many layers of love, but the deepest core of love is unconditional. We may call it compassion, love all. All the time the mind is keep on talking the inner talk. Thoughts are going on, day in and day out. But let's have an experimentation that when we don't think anything, when you don't have any emotion either, what kind of experience we'll have in an absolute silent way. Also, I'm looking forward to give you personal guidance, one-to-one personal guidance of various kind of your queries, your questions, your doubts. And also I'm looking forward to give you certain ideas about healing, a spiritual healing, which is very powerful healing. You can heal for yourself, physically or psychologically. Also you can heal others and you can heal the globe also, which is very much needed today. The healing is because so much diseases are going on in and around. So this spiritual healing which I am going to part with you is going to be of great help for each and every one. And apart from this, I am looking forward to give you Diksha. You must have heard about the word Diksha. Diksha means initiation. Yeah, initiation. Initiation is just to giving a startup, just a startup. We can give it to people who are interested to receive the Diksha or the initiation. There are many kinds of initiation, of course. I am going to give some Nayana Diksha, Nayana initiation, and Vishuddhi Diksha, which is based on the 7 chakras, and bliss initiation. And also I'm willing to give some Kundalini initiation. For Kundalini initiation, of course, I am selecting people. I am not going to give for everyone. Yeah. So all this, I am sure you will enjoy my presence, and I will certainly enjoy your presence over there.
I teased 9 o'clock. He gets away with saying, "You will enjoy my presence." I just think that's marvelous. You're back again. Perhaps you will enjoy my... I will stop there. We got a call from Atmanambi's people a couple weeks ago. He said, we'll be in the area. We would love to come be with you at Unity in Linwood. We said we would enjoy your presence. So on September 8th, he'll be with us for 2 events comprising Living Here Now. The Satsang portion is offered at $35. The Heart Chakra Initiation offered at $50. We would ask only that you register in the back. If you're interested, pay at the door on that evening. As a reminder, we have opened registration for our first annual men's retreat, at least first annual in my tenure, and that is the weekend of November 2 through 4. It'll be facilitated by Reverend Michael Bogar. There are informational postcards in the back. You are welcome to visit the Welcome and Information Station. Ask any number of gentlemen questions. Daniel Kalfas, John Previty, Tim Vokes are the steering committee for this great opportunity. New members. If you would like to become a formal member of this evolving idea we call Unity in Linwood, Sunday, September 2nd, join me in my office following this service for an experience I call the Basics of Unity. Understand the 5 largely agreed upon tenets of this particular movement and the history that has brought us to this juncture. That'll be followed by a reception held in your honor on Friday, September 7th. Meet your board, meet your staff, meet other leaders, meet each other and have some great food. New Members Sunday will be the 9th. It's a very safe ritual in which you are welcomed into formal membership. Your Board of Trustees is charged with the macro financial management of Unity and Linwood, and they do a great job. If you have an opportunity to thank a trustee, please do so. As part of our annual budgeting process, we host a major gala every year. It is scheduled for the last Saturday in October. This year we have 2 co-chairs who will offer an introduction to this event. It will fund a major building repair. If you have not noticed, you have a gorgeous new sign out front. You have a beautifully painted building. The completion of that project actually occurred this past week. What we have discovered, however, through engineering is that our sidewalks and part of our parking lot are, well, sinking. We don't think they should sink. I mean, it's just it's part of our belief system in Unity that so there is a noble purpose to this year's event. Here to offer an introduction are this year's co-chairs, Terry Kaufus and Sandy Gares. Would you come talk to these people, and would you welcome them, please? Better? We got it.
So I am going to use the podium. So yes, this year's benefit auction here, the theme for it is from Alice in Wonderland. It's the Mad Hatter Gala. And I have heard that this is one of the biggest and funnest events that we have here at Unity. And so we'd like to invite you to attend. It's going to be a fun-filled evening with fundraising and, look at my cart, engaging in friendly battling in the silent and live auctions that we're going to be having. And we're going to enjoy delicious food and drinks and good fellowship and be able to raise some funds to support this very critical repairs that we need. So you're not going to want to miss out, and we have several ways for you to participate. One of them is a sponsorship. You can just sponsor, and we have several sponsorship levels and fun gifts to go along with each of those levels, as well as a pledge form for that sponsorship, and that information will be in the back on the table there. You can find out more information about that. And another way is you can donate auction items. We're looking for goods and services that will make this auction a fun and successful event. And also in the back, whoops, there goes that. We have procurement ideas and guidelines. If you're not sure what you'd like to donate, you can take a look at that information back there as well. You can also procure donation items from other businesses who might like to advertise within our wonderful community and support us in that way. You can purchase a ticket to the gala, which you're going to want to do, or you can volunteer. So one or all or many of these ways you can participate. And all this information is in the back table back there. Terry and I will be there to answer any questions.
And tickets will be $40 each, and they will go on sale in September. We both have forms, or you could buy tickets online. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Yay. Isn't that a great piece? I mean, that's just clever. No, I did not do that. There will be music. No. Every service has an ambassador. This person's role is to support you in your exploration and discovery of this divine, evolving, unfolding idea we call unity in Linwood. If you have a question about whether there will be music or not, you're welcome to direct it. If you have a question about what we believe, about what we teach, about what is available to you as you explore your place in this evolving, unfolding idea, you're welcome to engage her in conversation. You will not be sorry that you did. She is truly a noble and enlightened soul, a dear friend. Am I overstepping? That's enough? Nan Allen, will you wave to these kind people, please? Nan Allen is your 11 o'clock ambassador. Good morning, Nan Allen. Practical spirituality, welcoming community, an admittedly short mission statement that speaks volumes. Practical spirituality, welcoming community. I like to support this every week with one of the 6 bullet points, which we developed in conversation with your Board of Trustees beginning in late 2014. So take a deep breath with me. Chosen by a highly scientific method, this week's bullet point is the following. It reads as follows: we welcome people from all spiritual traditions and from no spiritual tradition whatsoever into every activity of our community. Fair enough? Okay. 2 members have passed beyond our sight of late. Longtime Unity in Linwood member Aladine Jenkins made her transition on June 8th. And Marjorie Barnett made her transition on August 4th. In the words of the poet, death is nothing at all. It doesn't count. I have only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. So call me by the old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play and smile. Think of me. Pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It's the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind simply because I'm out of sight? I'm just waiting for you, for an interval somewhere very near, just around the corner, and all is well. So let's pause for a moment, and let's close our outer eyes to that world that would imply separation. Let's follow the breath to that expansive inner space that knows a higher truth. And to that soul that is Aladdin, and to that soul that is Marjorie, vibrant, whole, well, on purpose. We don't say goodbye, but farewell. And Godspeed. 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 And so it is. I had a dream about you last week. This is a true story. I mean, all of my stories are true. This is a factual story. I had a dream about you. I think it's an anxiety dream. Does anyone have anxiety dreams? It's a performer's thing. It usually involves nudity. This one didn't. I'm quite certain it has to do with this newfound foray into extemporaneous speaking. Nonetheless, I came to church on a Sunday morning and I looked at you and you looked at me, and after an extended period of mutual looking, I said, "So what do you want to talk about now?" And that was the dream. I mean, that was the end of it. So, what do you... No, I won't do that. Unity offers a very real gift in moments such as these, because unity would say that you are not that bag of carbon and atoms that you tote around during your earthly sojourn. That is not the highest definition of you. Unity would say that you are soul stuff, eternally growing, developing, unfolding. Unity would say that you rode the currents of life into this earthly experience. You will ride the currents of life out of this earthly experience. You are not defined by an incarnation. That's a real gift, because suddenly we face moments of earthly death and we can perceive them from a higher perspective and realize that death is really one of earthly life's greatest illusions, often leveraged to be a complete waste of time and energy. When we come to understand that we are not bodies, we come to embrace that we are not our races, we are not our ethnicities, we are not our genders, we are not our orientations. We come to understand that we are soul stuff, that we are individualized expressions of the one life that expresses itself continuously as all life. When we get to that place, suddenly we come to realize that our racism is merely a byproduct of poor vision, that our ageism is merely a byproduct of poor vision, that the gender conversation is really quite ridiculous, and the orientation conversation is completely absurd. So it's a great gift that unity gives by saying you are not this body. Your body is a reflection of a soul doing a soul's work. You are soul, eternally unfolding, developing, growing. When we orient to a perspective in which we come to believe that we are bodies, I pulled this quote. I think it's to orient towards Shakespeare's Macbeth, the great line that says, "Life is a tale told by an idiot. full of sound and fury, signifying nothing at all. When we come to believe, or when we are oriented to this level of reality, which is an honor to be here. I mean, let me be crystal clear. It is an honor to be here in Forum. It is an honor to hear the music of Bach in the early morning. It is an honor to hug a loved one. It is an honor to hear one another. It's an honor to hug a beloved. It's an honor to be here. I don't discount it. At this level of reality, however, when we come to identify with it and accept it as the highest truth, we come to a question that goes something like this. Well, when will I die then? When will I die? It's an understandable conclusion to a limited perspective. When, however, we lift that perspective into a higher orientation of soul, we come to a new question that goes something more along these lines. When will I live then? When will I live? It was Martin Luther King Jr. who said it this way. Just going to push that out of the way. It was Martin Luther King Jr. who said it this way. He said, existence is what you get when you pick up a body. We all have existence. He said, that's not life. A life is something you create. It's something you make. Existence is what we get when we check into an incarnation. Life, oh, it's so much more than that. The Rabbi Jesus of the Christian tradition said that I have come that you might know life and know it abundantly. And if I would challenge a reorientation toward this particular teaching and toward the entirety of his recorded message, it would be this. He was fascinated with our earthly walk together. We have created a paradigm in which we have projected him to be teaching about what happens when we lay the earthly body down. I have to tell you, he wasn't that interested in the afterlife. When he spoke about the kingdom of heaven, when he spoke about, I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly, he was talking about you, right here, right now in this room. He was talking about the relationship you share with the soul who sits to your right. And he was talking about the relationship you share with the soul who sits to your left. He was talking about the quality of life that we are able to create together, here and now. Now that's a game-changing idea, isn't it? Because when we are oriented toward the idea that he was teaching about the afterlife, it certainly lacks an immediacy. But when we come to grasp the idea that he was teaching us how to be together in Earth School, the entirety of his recorded teaching takes an immediacy that it lacked to that point, don't you think? So I've come that you might have life and have it abundantly. If that means something to me, not behind pearly gates and on the streets of gold, but if that means something to me in my earthly walk, then what does that mean? You arrive at the inevitable and obvious question of the morning, and I've taken the liberty of giving you some thoughts around that. I have 5 ideas. And quite honestly, I just meditated on that idea. What could that possibly mean? What could that possibly mean if I reorient to the question, how then am I to live? And I looked at my own life, and so I'm going to give you a little peek into my own life. Are you prepared for that? What are you going to say? Now, what's interesting about these 5 points, what does it mean to be alive, is after the first 4 came to me, I realized that there was an acronym rising, which just amuses me. I mean, I just love that. So perhaps you will pick up on it. Well, watch for it. Watch for it. See if you can get it before you get it. What does it mean to be alive then? I've come that you might have life, have it abundantly. You are unfolding eternal, infinite soul stuff, having a temporary experience in earthly form. What does it mean then to live? For me, number one, adventure, baby. Adventure. If you are eternally unfolding, growing, developing soul stuff, where exactly is there room for stagnation, boredom, and mediocrity? How many have had that experience where you, that moment even where, oh man, if I could sell everything I own and go to a distant, remote island where no one knows me. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Four people. That's good. That's good. This is such a cherished part of my walk that I've actually done that. I sold everything I owned and I moved to Hawaii. I thought, you know what? I can search for my soul in Hawaii, or I can search for my soul in Iowa. Hawaii is better. Adventure is really quite a counter-cultural idea. You know, we are living in the aftermath of an industrial age in which children were sent to school with matching little lunch boxes and put in straight little lines and trained to become regurgitating little automatons of task. So that they go to the factory with their big lunch boxes and essentially fall back in line and do exactly what they are told. Adventure is the stuff of your spiritual DNA, and it is completely counter-cultural. Adventure. How many of you took a different way to work last week? Thank you. That's where it starts. Number two, love. Number two is love. And we tend to think of the soul who is seated next to us. Rather, I would ask us to consider this as being a quality of beingness that is applied to the lives that we live. And yes, of course, that includes the person who is sitting next to us. But love, how often do we stop and appreciate the small things? I look at these trees. You know, it was the Dalai Lama who said we tend to spend our health making money until such time as we have to start spending our money to regain our health. He said that we tend to spend our todays ruminating about some imagined tomorrow until we arrive at the point at which we realize that we have lost both today and tomorrow. Love, a quality of beingness that applies to how we walk on our earthly path. In the words of so many country western icons, when was the last time that you did stop and smell the proverbial roses? Love, a quality of beingness with which we walk our earthly paths. Inspiration, inspiration, inspiration. Don't spoil it. Can't stop it. Well played. Well played. Inspiration. If you can entertain this reorientation that you are not flesh and bone, but that you are an expression of an infinite thinker, how often do we stop and listen? How often do we stop and listen? You realize that we are training children in college 4-year programs for jobs that do not yet exist. You know, we are making this shift in education. We used to think that children were educated on what to think, right? We now know better. We don't have time to educate children on what to think. We educate children to think. We educate children to be inspired, because the careers for which we train our children, they won't be here in 4 years. Change is happening that fast. Inspiration. Oh. Yes. Vision. You're just practically gloating at this point, John. Vision, it speaks to what is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? Do you live from a sense of purpose? Do you live from a sense of purpose? What inspires you? Do you live from that? And of course, the fifth one has to do entirely with expression. It's one thing to know the adventure, to cultivate the love, to avail ourselves to the inspiration, to cultivate the vision. Are we willing to step into it? Are we willing to step into it? This is a great unity idea. I mean, these are really unity's 5 principles right here. It's one thing to know all of this. It's one thing to come on a Sunday morning and to enjoy all of this and to delight in truly excellent company. Truly excellent company. It's another thing to step into it. It's another thing to live it. Aretha. Aretha. The year was 1998. I don't know how many know this story. I look at this and I look at her passing this past week and I think, she's showing us. She's showing us. The year was 1998. She was backstage at the Grammys. She was standing with Luciano Pavarotti, the great Italian tenor. How many already know the story? Okay, the same 4 people as before. That's great. That's all right. All right. Standing backstage with Luciano Pavarotti, great Italian tenor. He's on the telephone with his doctor. He has a throat malady, and he is to sing the great tenor aria from Turandot. It's known as Nessun Dorma. It's great work by Puccini if you don't know it. And as the conversation went, there's Aretha, there's Luciano, and the doctor pulls the plug and says, don't do it. Don't do it. So the orchestra is ready. There are, of course, a few million people watching, and Aretha Franklin says, let me listen to the rehearsal track. Let me listen to the rehearsal track. And so Luciano Pavarotti gives her the rehearsal track. Aretha Franklin listens to it. Listens to it once. She's never worked with the conductor before. There's been no rehearsal. And she says, I'm willing. I'm willing. And so I think about these 5 ideas. I think about adventure. I think about vision. Oh, my heavens, I think about expression. I think about that willingness to step into it. Oh, this is a moment. This is a moment. I want to share it with you.
Nessun dorma, nessun dorma. Tu pure, o principessa, nella tua fredda stanza, guardi le stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Within my heart, my secret lies, and what his name is, none shall know
shed. My kisses break the silence that made thee mine.
Adventure and love and inspiration and vision and the willingness to step into it. You may or may not like Aretha Franklin singing Puccini, but I'm here to tell you that's what living looks like. That's what living looks like. What's missing from this particular piece of footage is that when she concluded, this random young child appeared from nowhere and sidled up to Aretha. And you can see him look up to her and say, "I love you." And she looks down at this random child and says, "I love you too." It was a beautiful moment. I wish you could have seen it. Take a deep breath with me. Let's come into the high and holy knowing that God is. Let's come into the high and holy knowing that there are higher realities than those which can be revealed through the five senses. There are higher wisdom, higher life, higher love, higher sufficiency. And that because there can be no spot where this higher reality is void, we come to accept that it's here. And it's now. So using our faculties of imagination, let's just imagine ourselves breathing in what that means, breathing in life, breathing in love, bringing in that sufficiency to any apparent need, bringing in that wisdom even amidst an experience of confusion, incompletion, and continuing to use those faculties of imagination. If there would be any lesser idea, let's just imagine those arguments being breathed out, dissolving back into the nothingness from which they arose, knowing that they have no life of their own when subjected to the very light of God truth. So we allow this new knowing, we allow this higher orientation to soften the eyes, to slow the breath, to uncurl the fingers, even the toes. And we imagine the powerful, causative light of this awareness we imagine it joining with the light of the one who sits next to us. And expanding even further, joining with others, until indeed this entire communion of souls becomes a veritable beacon. is to be. And how good it is to be together. So for the privilege of walking in this higher awareness into a world that longs to remember. For the privilege of walking this light into the shadows which are eager to dissipate in your presence. We just allow a gentle gratitude to rise. And it's in this consciousness of gratitude that we close this time together. Simply by speaking, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Richard. Good stuff. We are alive, and that is good. So now is the time that we come together as a spiritual community and recognize the power of giving and thanksgiving. And we know that our prosperity comes from the highest source, and we're grateful that we have the opportunity to share our financial wealth where it is most needed. So as you prepare your tithes and your love offerings, I just want to remind you that as a community, we have the opportunity to share with one mind and one heart. And we bless the gifts that you're about to give, and we rely on the wisdom of our spiritual community to guide us to use them where they're needed most. And we say thank you.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
Thank you, God, that your living spirit of truth, expressing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you, ushers, for your service today. So if you are here for the first time or you're newish and haven't gotten the information yet, and you would like to learn more about Unity in general or Unity in Linwood, we've provided a newcomer's information card in the seat in front of you that you can take with you. And there is a welcome packet that looks like this in the information rack as you exit that you can take with you to learn more about us. And there's a stay in touch card also that you can fill out if you would like to get on our mailing list. It's an email list. You get about 2 emails a month. We keep that information private, but feel free to give that to someone with a name tag. As we've mentioned, all of us at Unity in Linwood consider ourselves to be a community of intentional welcome. And so with that, we want to recognize anyone who might be here for the first time so that we can connect with you and say hi. So if you're with us for the first time and you don't mind letting us know that you're here, please raise your hand and we can give you a quick round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being brave and stepping out. Please join us after service for some yummy food and conversation. We would love to get to know you. So for details, we have announcements, and for details and registration about all of our events, please don't welcome it. It says welcome. Please go to our welcome and information station in the back. You can welcome it when you get back there if you want. Sometimes it just comes out. Interfaith at Unity in Linwood presents, doesn't it? Rerun. Interfaith at Unity in Linwood presents several events coming up. This Saturday at 9 a.m., talk about death with intention, with the intention of making the most of life now, with Reverend Karuna Duvall, whose name I always get correctly. Private joke, with the family. And at 5:30 p.m., enjoy Holy Communion, open to all persons, offering inclusive spirituality and food for the journey with our lovely and talented Bishop Kathy Chalmers on drums today. And finally, the biblical High Holy Days have evolved over thousands of years to celebrate the essential truth of our being and the evolution of our spiritual journey. Rabbi Ted's teaching and Jenny and Jack's musical support bring new meaning to ancient words and rituals, encouraging a more profound awakening to the possibilities of the moment. Informational postcards detailing all High Holy Day offerings from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur are available. Unity in Linwood's Health and Wellness Ministry invites you to participate in a joy-filled summer walk. Instead of just those boring walks you take, this one's filled with joy. You can meet at Botha Landing, walk along the beautiful Sammamish River, and have lunch at Blythe Park, but you have to bring your lunch. So bring your picnic lunch. Estimated time for the walk is 1 to 2 hours, and it's led by Nancy Joy Callahan, who, that's why it's joy-filled, because she's so amazing. And the small group ministry invites you to join facilitators Elizabeth Stashow and Marty Schmick, I gave him a T, on Wednesday, September 5th at 1:30 p.m., starting for A Course of Love. Through integration of heart and mind, this intimate companion moves students from personal self to true self and to the co-creation of a new world. This group meets alternating weeks on the first and third Wednesdays of each month. You may purchase the book in our gift shop for 20% off, and also look at the other wonderful things at our gift shop while you're there. Please join Unity in Linwood's chaplains as we celebrate the 25th World Day of Prayer at Unity. The theme is Courage to Heal. Register to pray at 30-minute intervals throughout the day. We will celebrate community with a taco salad dinner starting at 6 p.m., followed by a service at 7 o'clock. Featuring healing statements and affirmations from many faith traditions, and culminating with our Circle of Wholeness. Release old stories and step out with courage into wholeness through chant and prayer. So all these good things and many more are happening at Unity in Linwood. You can find information in the printed program, by visiting our Facebook page or the calendar page of our website at unityinlinwood.org.
And if you are interested in membership to this amazing community, there are applications in the back. If you'll just fill it out and give it to me, that'll be great. If you'll join me, we'll sing our peace song. That was meant to be with God as creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let this come home. Every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Woo! If there's a first name of any soul you would like to invite into this consciousness of love and support, please speak that first name now. Oh, so on behalf of those spoken, whether with the human tongue or the human heart, we say yes. We stand in that higher orientation on your behalf. We stand in that higher orientation of life. We stand in that higher orientation of that wisdom, that sufficiency of love itself. Come swim in these waters. And so it's with great faith and boldness then that we lift our voices together and speak these words of benediction. There is one power and one presence in, through, and around all creation. So we go forth as the eyes of divine love, as the tongues of divine wisdom, as the hands of divine sufficiency, and the bold and ready hearts of divine life. Unity in Linwood, I love you very much. Have a blessed week.